neighbors today I will be reacting to something called the Pixar theory. I found it somewhere on here. Just watching
brother, but let me tell you, I had a crazy weekend. Saturday night I watched Pixar's Brave, and then Sunday I watched Pixar's Wall-E, so yeah, I know. Wild. Anyway, afterwards I was searching.
What a nerd. Look at how he talks. Look at this thing over here. You see right here? That? Yeah. That's pretty nerdy. Look at this. Cocky. Look at that. He has his own logo in the background. Right there. Cocky. Yeah. Let's John. He's not even talking into his mic. You see this? His mic is all the way over here. Oh, hi. That really makes sense. So let's get back. Go whoopsie.
Google for all the Easter eggs in each movie because Pixar always leaves references to their other movies in their current movies, and I love finding them, and I came across something even better. Then, today, I'm going to tell you about the Pixar theory. Meets a witch who can perform magic and asks her to change her fate, which inadvertently turns her mother into a bear. Now, her mother eventually changes back, but we also learn that the magic has been used on at least one other human, also turning him into a bear in a much more permanent way. Now, these are the only two cases we know of, but it's definitely possible that the witch has used this spell on other humans and created animals with heightened intelligence and human-like qualities. Animals like Remy, Nemo, and even Doug. I should note at this point that throughout this timeline, we're going to see the power struggles of 3 different races.
That's a little weird because isn't there like a lot of things from Pixar, like animals talking, cars talking? Yo, that's trippy.
Humans, animals, and artificial intelligence. I'm going to try and hit all these chronologically, which means our next 3 are Ratatouille, Finding Nemo, and Up, in that order. During these 3 movies, we will see the kind of interactions that eventually lead these 3 races to war. In Ratatouille, Remy the rat wants to learn how to cook, an activity exclusive to humans, but it turns out that he's better at it than pretty much every human. But this information does not remain secret by the end of the movie, not to the heroes and not to the villain, Chef Skinner. Whether through the heroes or evil ears of people who are out there, hearing the room to speak, and while the tech is free to do whatever, what we do know is that animals are getting smarter, and Up were introduced to the company By and Large, or BNL, who sees Carl's house at the beginning of the movie. BNL is also the company in Wall-E that has assumed control of the entire planet and all of its governments.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. BNL literally takes over the entire planet and proceeds to pollute it to the point of near extinction for everything. Side note, you can also use batteries from BNL to power your Buzz Lightyear action figure. Moving on to Finding Nemo, though, where we follow a father figure fish who's gained enough intelligence to successfully trans-navigate the ocean and rescue his son from humans. Throughout the Pixar history, humans may have been treating animals like this all the time, but here, we see animals do something about it.
This is kind of weird.
Turn to The Incredibles and the world's catchiest frickin' theme song. Gonna be there all week. Turns out animals aren't the only ones evolving. Humans are too, in the form of supers. But let's have a look at the not-so-super villain, Syndrome. Syndrome creates an AI killing machine, the Omnidroid, which Mr. Incredible states got too smart to wonder why it had to take orders. We are led to believe that this is what Mirage wants Mr. Incredible to think, when at the end of the movie, its creator within seconds. We also see that the machines are more than versions of the Omnidroid, basically commit genocide on all the supers that Syndrome invites to the island. But so what? At the end of the movie, Syndrome is dead and the Omnidroid is gone. But the AI...
So I'm gonna fast forward this because I can't go over 10 minutes, so...
explanation for how the toys draw power. Throughout the Toy Story movies, we see different factions of toys, and therefore AI, becoming fed up with the status quo of how humans treat them. In the first movie, the toys rise up against Sid. In the second movie, Jessie resents her former owner for abandoning her. And by the third movie, Lotso straight up hates humans for the abandonment he was given by his owner. The AI is becoming less come to life, suggesting that human life is what is really giving the AI its power. Machines need humans as much as humans need machines. But the machines still want to be in control. So, won't see another animal on Earth for a long time. It's possible the animals tried to rise up against the humans to stop the pollution, but we know that they get stopped by the machines. And even if that's not the case, we know that there's no animals left anyway, because what is left? Cars! Super intelligent.
This is so weird. How does he just like randomly figure this stuff out? This is weird.
Very human-like cars with incredibly advanced AI. There are no humans or animals at all in cars, but we know they're still on Earth because of all the different places they visit in Cars 2. But if you recall, machines need humans. Without them, they're forced to rely on fuel, which is why there is an energy crisis in Cars 2. This leads to an actual fuel war, where one side actually creates a fake green energy fuel to kill off enemy cars. That green fuel is called All in All, which is such a great name, don't you think? I mean, all in all, I would say all in all is a great name. No, that sounded stupid. Hold on. By and large, I'd say all in all is a great name. Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that by and large and all in all basically mean the same thing. In any case, whoever wins, they eventually run out. We have Wall-E, the only remaining robot? I mean, why is that? If they're all solar powered, why is he the only one left? It seems odd until you find out what sets Wall-E apart from all other machines. His fascination with humans. Every single day he collects different human artifacts and watches old movies, and it could be that this interaction is what keeps him going while other machines have failed. Anyway, as the movie ends, we see humans return to Earth, and Wall-E plants a tree, which I have to think would be a very resilient tree to be the first plant on Earth in 700 years. Resilient enough, in fact, to be around when life begins to return to the planet in its smallest form. Bugs. The tree they plant really does look a lot like the one in A Bug's Life, although I guess it's open for interpretation. That's right, A Bug's Life is way in the future. Why? Because the bugs in A Bug's Life don't behave like any of the other animals in any other Pixar movie. They have cities, they are inventing things, they are building things. Flick is also warned not to leave the island for fear of birds, snakes, and...
Okay, so I don't understand something. Why? Why? His
They
name.
are bugs, not humans. Now I know we said earlier that
He's dealing with the fun.
humans did return to Earth, but at this point there would not be a lot of them, so it would not be unreasonable to think that the bugs didn't even see them as a threat. So now what? We have machines, animals, and humans on Earth again, living in harmony, until the evolution of the next super
Down
species.
your forehead.
Monsters. That's right, Monsters Incorporated is the furthest in the future we go. Way in the future. In Monsters University, we see that the university was founded in 1313, meaning that the monsters could have restarted their own calendar and year system. That this could be 1,400 years after Wall-E. But where do they come from? Well, I have two possible explanations. One, humans evolved into monsters after living on a radically radioactive planet for like 800 years or something. Or they could have crossbred with animals, which is weird, but remember, animals are getting way smarter all the time. So if they got that smart, maybe it wouldn't have been that weird. Once again, we are in a world without humans. And what does everything need to survive, apparently? Humans! Including the monsters who have to collect all the screams or laughter of humans to power everything in their world, because, guess what? Something new! Energy crisis! But wait, we see monsters and humans interacting in Monsters Incorporated. They have to exist at the same time. Unless monsters are actually traveling back in time through the doors to the peak of human existence to collect the screams. This would also make sense for why monsters are trained to be afraid of humans and not touch anything, because touching anything could result in a crazy butterfly effect that could affect the future. Boo does get through. Imagine you're that kid. I mean, you grow up knowing another world exists. You remember that world. You've been visited by it. You're gonna try and find it. In fact, if you're Boo, I think it becomes your life's obsession, and you travel the globe to the dark ages of Scotland. That's right, Boo is the witch. Don't think so? Okay, well, for one thing, she's obsessed with bears, which Sully definitely kind of resembles. If that doesn't convince you, how about this drawing of Sully in her workshop? Or this carving of the Pizza Planet truck in her workshop? I mean, how would she even know that that exists unless she's come from the future? And at one point, she actually uses the door to transform the contents of a room. Walks through the door, walks back out, different thing inside. That sounds a lot like Monsters to me, don't you think? Pixar is amazing and this video is getting way too long. If you want to learn more, I will leave a link down